Why people are a bit reluctant in cremation is because of the spirits. People will feel like, no, their spirit will haunt us.
Wanawake ni dhaifu. Kama watakuja hapa watakuja kuanguka, kusinda wakilia hapa.
And it could take more than 24 or 30 hours before the body is completely in ash.
Death is one of those topics people do not feel comfortable talking about. This is why there is always a dilemma amongst people on the method of laying the dead to rest. Burial is one of the oldest common methods of interring the body. Throughout history, people have resorted to a variety of alternatives, with disposal in the wild being common in Africa and elsewhere until recent times, where people are adopting cremation. Incineration of remains has been practiced for thousands of years in many cultures. However, in Africa, the process remains a preserve of the few.
Quando vado a mina sei tu ma minto e volvane to comina nelle na che mondo da dinde guna no samboka ana man vai jore kale mai wada senjare na bandwar sajna inde mette rosano ade wada de sambo muira nyambe ro wa sambo wa sambe tu kale wa kore.
Why people are a bit reluctant in cremation is because of the spirits. People will feel like, no, their spirit will haunt us. Notwithstanding now the respect of the body in terms of resurrection, in terms of image of God and likeness of God.
Some of the notable personalities in Kenya who defied the norm and opted cremation include Nobel laureate Professor Wangari Maathai and the second Archbishop of the Anglican Church, Manasseh Kuria, who in their will and testament opted for a process like this.
The decision of the late, the Most Reverend, Right Reverend Manasseh Kuria came as a surprise, not only to the church but to the society and the context from where we operate. But that was his will.
The Kariakoo Hindu Shamshan Bhumi is one of the crematorium centers in Kenya with 2 chambers. A traditional one where the body is incinerated by use of firewood. The body is taken into the crematorium with its feet forward. After entering, the position is changed so that the head is forward. The covering sheets and any ornaments are then removed and the body laid on the funeral pyre, then covered with wooden logs. The body is burnt completely until it is reduced to bone fragments and ashes.
Watu zaidi wanakuja kuchoma mwili kama ni kwa kuni. Kuna ile bones zinabakia. Na sisi tunajua hii ni bones na hii ni makaa. Kuna ile bones zinabakianga, saa ile hiyo kuni inaiza kabisa. Kuna ile bones zinabakianga, sasa hiyo bones ndio familia wanakujanga kuchukua kesho yake, wanapeleka Thika au wanapeleka Mombasa.
Hapa watu na hivi na kuchomana mili maiti yani. Wahindi, wazungu, Waafrika, huko hatutumii mashine. tunatumia kuni. Hiyo kuni Wahindi ndio wanapenda kwa sababu ya kuwa ni mila yao. Hata kule kwa wanga wanachoma na kuni. Ndio maana wamewekea ya kuni.
The other process is the modern chamber, also known as the retort. It is similar with the traditional chamber. The only difference is that the body is placed in a chamber, which is an industrial furnace capable of generating temperatures between 870 to 980 degrees Celsius. And eventually, after 45 minutes, the body is reduced to basic gases and bone fragments.
Kwa upande wa pei, muhindi kwa kuni ni 40,000, kwa mashine ni 30,000. Mwafrika kwa mashine ni 50,000 na kwa kuni ni 50,000. No nindo ni 50,000. Tukilinganisha mambo ya muhindi kwa bei ndogo, Wahindi ndio wana donate vitu mingi kwa hiki kiwanja. Wananunua mashine, wananunua kuni, wananunua ngazi, wanalipa wafanyikazi, wanasimamia kiwanja. Kwa hivyo wanashikilia makubwa sana.
However, it is worth noting that Hindus' way of cremating is totally different from the Sikhs. That notwithstanding, rituals are performed during and after cremation. Behind cremation lies many nitty-gritties.
Traditionally, the cremation was done using firewood, and the body to burn on the fire was a very emotional scene, and it could take more than 24 or 30 hours before the body is completely in ash. And even when it is in ash, you can still see the skull, the bones, and ladies were very emotional, and they were left out of the final rites.
In our traditions, it's mostly the close family members or the women who are very close to the family. They attend the cremation.
Children's body is not very big, so we put in the soil in the jug.
Many religious denominations are still divided on whether to adopt the process or not, citing a number of factors.
We believe in three things. One is fire, water, and soil. And according to our religion, we find the best and the easiest way of is cremation, and because it's faster, cleaner, and you don't need too much land.
It's like when it comes to cremation, the Bible is silent. And when it's silent, you can ask yourself, which context are we operating?
In the book of Revelation, chapter 20, verse 15, the Bible says, "And anyone not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire." That's the only place that you find in the scriptures where the Bible mentions people going to be burnt, and that's in the lake of fire. The other areas you find burning, like like in the Old Testament, everywhere where you find people being burned, it is associated with idol and idol worship. It's associated with punishments from the Lord, and that's where you find there is burning, like the times of Sodom and Gomorrah. The burning that you see there is out of punishment. It's not out of the natural deaths that we talk about.
You have gone through the scriptures and you realize that there is nowhere saying do not cremate, except in the book of Jeremiah, when the prophet was warning the Israelites by telling them, don't be like them. They are burning their children, their sons and daughters. The Anglican Church from the time of Reformation, or the Protestant Church from the time of Reformation, have actually created more space to reason and dialoguing and experiences. So the Anglican Church will continue respecting the will and the wishes of the family. What did the person say? You know, many people will say, when I die, this is how I want you to bury me. One will say, cremate me. One will say, please bury me in a cemetery.
Renda bagusirendo tukatanga kama hiki yabo na ndo mmoja makatanga bagusio nende andre rango joto tinde kana iru kare ndo ko tinde kana town yan to garba kabusi era wona do ga to ira no era ngata ko tu to ro bone kabusi aja ke wona ron ya wona moja ke ni butur o rende wono ndo to ko gende rende ko ni ra wono no jengu butur wa kare ni ya ro to sam biro ria ale rango yetu ra to tu te sen now.
Our position as a church should be very clear on what we believe in the scriptures. And anyone who wants to make their choice and be cremated, I think as a church would wish to either disassociate ourselves from performing such acts if Bible does not support it.
The method of preserving the cremains varies from one community to another.
Once the body has been cremated, the ashes have to cool down, and if it is the traditional method using firewood, it could take the second day or the third day. The ashes are collected, but if it's the furnace, it can be collected tomorrow morning. The ashes are collected and they are put in water, in a running river.
We collect the ashes, and there are two options for the ashes. You can throw in the water, and you can put in the dug.
Lakini kere twa tore umwaka kurange tura abantu be kanisa umusasiro tungu murange tore twara mukorera amasabo tubegete niburi yawe asitura kete buya sefri igo kunwa korera amasabo yo mwaka we sere yawe twamenya kumonyuranga umuno ndo bina asirete nawe bana kibaro na baroro ba makumbuso ega tomera na bana baye baje kubasa menyete baje twakora makumbuso ya tatu mwa anyway and the one in the way na way asiri de to ndo to mutu bete de kono de mi to to na to ko mo ko sere efelia.
After all is said and done, life is a brief intermission between birth and death. The question is, how do you want your body to spend eternity?